Hi everybody, it's Stacy from Quick Quotes Scrapbook Company, and I am here today to walk you through the August Club Q kits. And I wanted to show you a preview of September's Club Q kits. And if you have not joined Club Q yet and you're just here watching the video, I wanted to show you what you would get if you were to sign up. When you sign up, you get every single month, you get 2 double page layouts plus a paper pack for $32 and free shipping, so you never pay any extra shipping. When you do sign up, you get a whole bundle of free kits. So you get 2 double page layouts, you get a free paper pack, and you get 3 powder puff chalking inks. So you get $45 in free stuff in your first shipment if you were to sign up. So if you've been thinking about it, we have some fun kits coming up. Check it out. Get all the free stuff, get signed up. You can opt out. You don't have to take every single month, so you can skip months. But this is what's coming up for September, and I wanted to show you before we get started with the video for the August kits. Because one benefit that we have, it's $32 a month, free shipping, plus we do a video every single month to show you how to put the kits together. But this is a fun one for September. You can use it for travel, adventure, you can use it for just everyday photos. But check it out, it's really fun colors, some fun paper. We actually use some of Bo Bunny's paper as well. We use mostly Quick Quotes papers, but sometimes we mix in a few other things. So check it out and stick around for the video for the August kits. Okay, we are going to get started with our August Club Q kit, and it is called A Good Time. So a good time was had by all. So this is kind of a fun summary kit, but it's also can be used for all different kinds of pictures, more general pictures too. So not necessarily beachy or summertime. You can use it for whatever works for you. Again, on the front, we always have suggestions for inks, and on this one we have Fall Leaves, Mermaid, and Summer Days for the Powder Puff Chalking inks. If you have those colors, you can use them. If you have other colors that you prefer to use, you go right ahead. On the back, we are going to start with the cutting instructions. So there's a few cutting instructions, and there's only one small diagram for cutting instructions. But we are going to go ahead and get started. One thing that I like to do is get the cutting out of the way to begin with. So we are actually going to start with the ribbon. So you have a sheer piece of teal ribbon, and we need to cut it into 4 6-inch pieces. So if you have a ruler, which I'm not sure where I put mine, there it is. So cut your ribbon into 4 6-inch pieces. And if they're not exactly 6 inches, that's okay too, but we put in just enough ribbon to do 6-inch pieces. One's a little longer, a little shorter on this kit. It's not gonna matter too much. They just go on the top of tags. All right, so we have 4 6-inch pieces. I'm gonna set those aside. And before I start my cutting diagrams, a lot of times I will punch out all of my die cuts. This is totally up to you. Sometimes I choose to leave them in and just grab them as I go. So if that is easier for you, you can leave them in and just punch them out as you go. But I have mine all punched out this time. And I keep them in piles by color so I know what I'm going for. Some of the smaller pieces, like some of the smaller delicate pieces, I leave in there until I'm going to use it so that I don't get it caught up with other things or throw it away or lose it. But for now, I am going to push these out of the way, keep them in their piles, so I know I can easily grab what I'm looking for. And I'm going to move in, and this piece was already pre-cut, so I'm going to put that up there too. I'm going to move in my background pages to begin with. So we're going to work mostly on page 1, but I always set page 2 next to it so that I can just lay things as I go on the next page as well. I will try to have mostly, let me check, make sure this is actually in the, there we go. We're going to work mostly on page 1, but I have page 2 set up to add a few things to as well. So very first, we are going to do some cutting diagrams. So I'm going to bring in my cutter. Set that right on top of my page here. We have one diagram to go by. Whoops. And on the other side of this paper, there's some powder puff chalking ink techniques and stuff like that. But we are going to do this diagram with the captain's wheel paper. You have a 4.5 by 12 or by 11 inch piece of paper. We're going to cut a 4.5 by 4.5. Start there. So it's already 4.5 this way. We are going to put it in at 4.5, trim again. And I'm going to write this size on here so that you can see what I'm working with. Of course, you don't want to do that at home, but just so you can see what I'm doing. So the next one is at 3.5. So 3.5 by 3.5, put that in 3.5. And then that same piece you want to turn to 3.5. So you have a 3.5 square. This little piece is extra, set it to the side. 3.5 by 3.5. And then the last one is 3 by 3. So this little leftover piece, it's already at 3 inches this way. So we turn it to 3 inches and trim. So it's 3 by 3. And then set those aside. So that's the only diagram. We do have another couple cutting pieces here. The aqua paper with the arrows on it, we are going to cut in half. So you just want to cut it 6 inches. I'm cutting it this way. As I put it in my trimmer, I'm cutting it with the arrows going this way. You can do whichever way you want, but this is the way that it is on the photo, on the instructions. So we'll put it in at 6 inches. If you want the arrows going the other direction, that's totally fine. And then you have 2 6 by 12 inch pieces here. The other cut we need to make is this strip of peach paper. And it is a 2 by 12. We need to cut 1/2 inch strips. So you'll end up with 4 1/2 inch strips. So we'll put it in at 1.5 and trim, move it down to 1. And it's kind of hard to trim this skinny little piece, but what I do is I always bring my blade down to the bottom so that when I do push up, it doesn't move anything. It pushes against this and stays straight. So there's another 1/2 inch strip, and then you move it to 1/2 inch, and I bring my blade back down so I can push it up towards this straight edge, and that gives you another 1/2 inch. So you have 4 little 1/2 inch strips. I'm going to set those aside. And then as we go, you chalk the edges of anything and everything you would like to in the colors that you want to use. I'm going to chalk up a few things, but you can chalk anything and everything. That's the beauty of having a video. You can always just pause it and do what you need to do. Catch up, chalk, whatever you need to do, and then just push play again, and we will move on. So to begin with, we're going to start with page 1. And this is what it looks like. And I usually work on one page at a time, but there's a few pieces that we can go ahead and put down on both pages. So if you line your 2 background pages up together, we are going to center, or actually it's not centered, it's 3 inches, oh it is centered. So 3 inches up from the bottom, 3 inches down from the top, and this one gets adhered right in the middle of both pages. Oops. And like I said, you go ahead and chalk this up any way you want. I actually have jade right here, which I think is a really pretty color. Baja blue works with this as well. Aqua, there's lots of colors that look really pretty on this one. So I'm just going to do a little jade, add a little green to it around the edge. Montego Bay, which is kind of a more turquoise color, but that looks really pretty with this paper line as well. Okay. And you put the arrows in whichever direction you would like, but this goes right in the middle on both pages. And at the top and the bottom of that same piece, you can put your peach strip at the top and the bottom. I got my paper kind of curled up. And that is also for both pages as well. So you just put it flush to the top and the bottom of your arrow piece. And then we have some die cuts that are kind of wavy strips here. So you'll need 2 blue and 2 teal aqua-ish color. So I have 2 blue. I get 2 aqua. And again, this is the same for both pages. So you'll need 2 of each color on each page. This first one goes right at the top of your peach strip here. So it just goes over the top. And even if it doesn't completely touch the edge, you will never be able to tell. And then this one goes right along the edge of the peach. And your blue goes just above that. And chalk these up if you'd like. Makes them stand out a little more. These ones are a little harder to chalk, so your hands get a little messy. But the great thing about Powder Puff chalking inks is they dry permanent on your paper, but they are easy to wash off of your hands. Okay, so we are going to add the scallop border. To look and see what was next here, to each page. And I'm going to chalk this up a little bit on just on the edges, or on the very ends of these scallops. You can see it just adds a little color there. These go along the bottom. You center it. You not touch the edges completely, but that's okay. And this is on both pages as well. So sometimes we have pages that are very easy to work on simultaneously. Can't say that word right now. But there is some kits that have very similar backgrounds. We just decorate the front and the embellishments differently. So we are going to layer up your photo backers now. So the largest one it's close to a 5x7, that is going to go on page 2. We can go ahead and line that up over here. And I'll show you, I know that's not totally in the screen for page 2, but I will show you later page 2 as well. The next largest square, which is about a 5x5, came out of a die cut. That is going to go directly in the middle of page 1. The next largest is going to go just to the side of that. And that one is going to be a little pocket. And then we have the smallest on this side. Then we have the wheel paper, the captain's wheel papers that we cut earlier. And we are just going to add these to the center. And you can see the 3x3 here, the 4.5 by 4.5 here, the 3.5 by 3.5 here. And then on page 2, this is a piece that was already pre-cut for you. So go ahead and I'm going to put a little sunset on that one. Actually, I'm going to use Summer Days. This is a really bright yellow. Kind of pretty. So, and especially if you have pictures that have yellow in the picture. And then that one just goes on page 2. These I'm going to do in, this is called Sunset. So this is kind of a reddish orange color. Another one that would look really nice on here, another orange, is Pumpkin Pie. So you probably aren't wanting to use all of these colors, but I'm just giving you kind of an idea of some of the colors that would match really well. So this is Desert Sun. This is a little more like kind of a dull orange, kind of a rusty looking color, but it's really pretty on this paper line as well. I'm just giving you some examples of the colors that you can use. And then maybe on this one I will use Baja. So you might just want to choose 1 or 2 colors that work for you. That one's really pretty on here too. So when you glue this 3.5 by 3.5 down, you only want to put adhesive along the sides and the bottom, just the sides and the bottom. When you flip that over and actually adhere it on here, this is going to be a pocket. So your tags for that pocket will come out of these frames here. Punch the center out. Chalk those up as you go. And this is just an extra piece, I believe, so you can use that for a tag on something else. And then this piece goes on page 2, so I'll just lay that on the pages over there. This peach paper looks really pretty with an orange around the edges. One of the darker oranges like Sunset or Mango Mai Tai. And then the ribbons that we cut earlier, we just pull through the center. We don't even have to tie like a double knot, you just tie once. Trim the edges. You can do at an angle or you can fold it in half and do a little dove's tail. So trim down towards your fingers and it makes a perfect little there you go. And if this is glued down just on the sides and edges, you just tuck these in behind here. And these can be used for little photos, or you can put a little word on there. You can use them for journaling tags. The second one. And this one will just cut. I usually do them both the same, but just so you can see the difference. And just cut it as at an angle. Tuck that down in there. A lot of times I use these little little tags to like maybe write dates on. Just jot down a little bit about the day. I know they're not really big enough for a full photo, but and then the last thing that you have on here is the title and then the flower that goes up in the corner. I'm going to show you here with the flower. I just chalk up just the edges, just slightly on the... This is why I don't glue it down completely until I know where I want things, because I need a little space here. And then I just put a little adhesive here, here, and then maybe on the end. When you go to glue everything down. And then we have the smaller piece. I'm just going to do a little bit on in there. And you want the 2 largest flowers. There's a large one, kind of a medium-sized one. And one trick with these, I'm going to chalk it up. I'm going to use my light color first, so I'm going to use a yellow. I love this look when you add 2 different colors. You always want to use your lighter one first. And then I'm going to go around just the edges with sunset or fall leaves or pumpkin pie or some sort of kind of orangey color, mango mai tai. Once you do that, you want to do it with both flowers, but once you do that, I take the edge of my scissors or maybe like a paper piercer or something, and I just put it in the center, fold this up, and it can be, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect because you won't be able to notice it, but this really makes this pop off the page and has a little extra dimension to it, so it has some, looks like it has a little more layers to it. So there's the large one. You can see it just makes it pop off the page a little bit. I'll do the same with this one. Do a little yellow. Go back around with, actually I'll use a different color. I'm going to use the Baja, so it makes it kind of a green. And then go back, and you can even use just your nail. My nails don't look very pretty right now because they're all powder puffed up, but you can even just use your nail and just put a little bend in each petal. Just a little bit down the middle. You can see that makes it bend up a little bit and stand off the page. And then in the center of that, we have a button. And in our kits, we have all the embellishments, the small embellishments like the brads and the buttons. We have them all nice and tidy in a little packet for you. The large button goes right in the center there. And you want to have a glue pin on hand because these words are a little bit intricate and hard to glue down. So these are the words that I actually left in the die cut, and I'm just punching them out now as I need them because there's even this small little dot here that you don't want to lose. That's for the eye. So that's why I don't punch everything out from the beginning. If I do, I mean, we say in the directions that you can. If you do, you just want to make sure and keep it all together. So use a glue pin on the back of these, and you don't have to have every single piece glued. Just put a few dots in different places. Be careful punching these out because these really are small and delicate. Take your time. A good time was had by all. And if you like our kits and you are new to Club Q or to our company, we would love to have you join us at one of our online events or in-person events. We do in-person events in the fall. You can check that out online. We have one in Washington, Pennsylvania, and California. And it's called the Private Reserve. So we do 3 days of classes and giveaways and prizes and crop parties, and you go home with tons and tons and tons of stuff. It is such a fun time. We also do it online, and you get the same amount of stuff. We just ship it to you, and then we do it online as well. So check that out. That one is in November, and we are getting really close to full on some of those. So check that out. And then we do one-day events online as well. So if you like our kits and you like doing our classes, check out some of our online events because we have so much fun at them, and we give away tons and tons of prizes. Really a fun event each time. So check that out at shopquickquilts.com and click on workshops and events, and we'll have all the info there. If you ever have any questions about it or anything, just let us know and we will answer your questions. Okay, so we have page 1 complete. I'm going to move that out of the way so that we can slide page 2 in, even though we have most of page 2 done as well. Okay, so we have the 6x12 aqua, we have a strip of peach on top and bottom, we have our frame. Of course, you don't want to glue this down yet. It's just here for when you get photos in them. We have 2, this one didn't cut all the way through, so I'm going to trim this out a little bit. Sometimes the laser machine doesn't quite get it all, but just trim it out there. Okay, so these chalk up as you would like, but this one goes almost to the right edge and just below your photo that's centered in the middle of the aqua paper. The next one goes right over where the peach matches up there. We have a couple of tags, chalk those up. Those are going to sit right on top of here. The blue one's just a little bit higher than the teal. Your ribbon goes in just like the other ones, through the hole, tie a knot. The frame goes on top here, and in the picture it has white right here in the frames, but you don't need that because you'll actually be putting pictures in there, or you could put little journaling pieces in there, but pictures are meant to go behind there. And just like the other page, we have our little waves. Oops, I don't want to put that down. And this one's a really easy one to look at the instructions, like the picture on the very front of the instructions, and kind of just follow by the picture. Sometimes there's a little trickier things in there that need a little more instruction, but this one was easy to follow just by the pictures, really. So once you get pictures in behind there, you'll want to glue this all the way down, or just tack it down for now if you would like. And then you have 3 medium-sized flowers, and again, I would do the same thing we did with the other ones and just fold it in the middle, and it just makes it pop off the page. It's a little time-consuming, but you can stop the video, do your flowers, and then turn it back on. Chalk these up whatever color you would like, and then there's smaller ones that go on the top of each one. I just like how that kind of makes it not so flat to the page. But there's a smaller one. Do the colors that you would like on there. And then there is a button to finish it all off. So again, these tags, you could cut a picture of somebody to put on the tags. You could do journaling strips. You could do dates the photos were taken. And you have the second page done. So I hope you enjoyed Club Q for August, and check out September's kit because it's another one that has lots of fun, kind of bright colors to it. And we hope to see you again next month. Thanks so much for being a member. We appreciate you.